Okay, so there's two basic ways to do this. The first is through a text editor and command line, and the second is through the Ipython notebook. So first let's do the text editor and command line. This isn't the way that I usually run my Python scripts, but this is one way to do it, and it's the more basic way, and it's useful to know. So I'm just using my text editor, Sublime Text 2, and the first thing I'm going to do is just import, let's call this test script, and I'm going to make sure I have the right syntax highlighting selected, Python. Okay, so now my syntax is highlighted correctly. I'm just going to import the packages that I need. So import numpy as np, import matplotlib .pyplot as plt, and now let's just call some variables. X is equal to np.linspace 0, 10. So it's just linearly spaced numbers between 1 and 10. I mean 0 and 10 into 50 chunks. And then y is just going to be np.sign of x. So I'm just going to have an array of just linearly spaced numbers between 0 and 10, split into 50 evenly spaced chunks. And then I'm just going to take the sign of that. Now if I want to show that, I do plt.plot x, y. And then if I'm running this command line, I have to show the plot, plt.show. So plt.show we're not going to have to run in the notebook, but if you're running this in the command line, you have to do that. And so I'm just going to save this right to my desktop. We'll call it test.py, and you'll see it pop up over here. And if I want to run that, I just do python test.py, and you'll see a little plot pop up, and it's just the sine wave. And there's a couple tools down here you can use. Nothing too great, but you can try to explore your plots a little bit. Okay, so that's the first way. I don't usually use that way. It's not really good for exploratory work, I've found. The way I usually do it is through the Ipython notebook. So you can launch the Ipython notebook two ways. You can go type Ipython notebook in the terminal and it'll pop it up, or you can use Anaconda's little launcher and just going through it this way. And so I'll just wait for this to load, and we'll launch our Ipython notebook. And your browser will pop up open, and you just go to where you want to save your Ipython notebook. And so I'm just going to save this to my desktop again. And I'm just going to go over here to new and Python 2 notebook. And we'll call this test notebook. So all I had to do is just click up here on untitled and I can rename it. So click there and you can rename it. So I'm just going to do the same exact thing, import numpy as np, import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. And I'm going to do one more thing here, and this allows you to plot within my Python notebook. And I'm just going to call matplotlib inline. And so this is just called a magic with this little % sign up front. And this just allows you to plot within inside the notebook. And so we're going to do the exact same thing. X is equal to np.linspace 0, 10. Y is equal to np.sign of x. And then if I want to plot it, I just do plt.plot like we just did, x, y. And this plot comes up. And so it's a static plot. You can't really do much with it. There are ways to make it so you can interact with it. But for right now, let's just leave it at that. So that's pretty much all you do. You just name your notebook. If you want to run these cells, it's just Shift-Enter, and you can rerun them.